Good evening, Albert JTV community. Welcome back to the South East London red carpet, as I call it. Weekly Surgery, episode 45, people, with my brother from another mother. But before we get into it, let's smash the Weekly Surgery intro. Footballing community, waiting time is now over. The Albert JTV practice is now open. The surgery required is Premier League talk and any other business. Let's get to work. Welcome to the Weekly Surgery.
Love that.
Yes. Well, welcome back, people. Weekly Surgery, like I said, for the South East under the red carpet. You people know where I live, so you have to keep a low profile, man, because things could get a little bit tetchy if a certain team comes up to the Premier League next season. But people, smash the like button on the way in. I have a special guest. Been waiting ages to get him on, but I know he's a busy man, presenting extraordinaire, and of course the man behind talent transfer, Cecil G. Welcome, brother, to Albert JTV.
Thank you for having me. Big up, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Albert, man. Look at me clapping myself. What sort of madness is that? But no, I appreciate it. It's obviously, I've known you for a long time. And listen, apologies I haven't come on sooner, but it's just been, as you know, it's been non-stop at the moment. It's funny, Weekly Surgery. I need some open heart surgery right now with the way this club is just causing me stress. Just trying to play with all our fans' emotions. Can you just get it over the line? We're going to find out. It's going to be an interesting back into the season, but no, man, all good. I'm honored to be here, brother. It's always good. Like I said, I've seen you for a long time, so it's nice to actually get to feature on your channel. So thank you.
Yeah, of course, brother, man. I'm so rude. Happy Valentine's Eve to people, because when this goes out, the audio, if you got a loved one, you haven't got a loved one, go and get yourself a Valentine's meal for one that will last for a couple of days, because the portions are quite big. But let me give Cecil a proper round of applause, people.
Oh, you got sound effects. The budget's high on this channel. Blood clam. I have to come back.
You know what? StreamYard, all that money you're taking off people, you need to give us a little bit more features in the old studio. But I was thinking, Rod, StreamYard has stepped up the last sort of 3 to 6 months, man. I'm quite surprised. But listen, man, I've got royalty in the house, man. I've got to treat you well, man.
No, I appreciate it.
Cecil, now I know you're knackered because obviously I saw that you was at the game yesterday.
Oh, word.
And I can imagine how some of the fan cams potentially went down. Look, I don't think the best way to start this, really. I'm going to sort of strip it back a little bit. What was your sort of expectations of Arsenal before a ball was kicked this season, going off the back of the last couple of seasons? What was you looking to see from this side coming into the 25-26 season?
Good question. I haven't actually been asked that. Interesting. I mean, Liverpool did a madness in the window. They just come off the back of obviously winning the league with Slot. Something kind of unheard of where, there has been managers that have come in the first season and won the Premier League, but Slot off the back of, Klopp leaving, it was a big ask because Liverpool, they've done well. They've done well to win it in the time against City in previous seasons. But for Slot to do it off the back of Klopp leaving was kind of unheard of. So going into that this season and them doing that incredible window was it's like, I'll be real. I'm sure many fans would agree. You'd thought these men are going to walk the league again. Even though you want the truth, at the beginning of the season, I remember doing it. I predicted that Arsenal win the league this season. Okay. Maybe that's blind faith. Maybe that's just being an Arsenal fan, red tinted glasses, all that stuff. It probably was that. I'm always going to back my team, but I don't know. I came into the season just with a bit of high hopes as well. Let's not forget, we did well in the window as well. Andrew Berta come in and he did a madness. I remember going on tour and seeing us playing, seeing some of the team clicking. Listen, we lost to Spurs, which I thought was a bit of a madness in Hong Kong. But before that, I think by that time the team were kind of done with the preseason tour, and I could feel that we were done with it. I'll be honest, we was over there, and I was kind of close to a few of the players, so I kind of knew they were ready and itching to get back home for the season to start. So the first half of it was in Singapore, and we were just tucking away teams, little pieces, playing AC Milan, was playing Newcastle, and we were easing into the preseason, but we were looking fluid. So I was like, okay, cool, team's looking good. And I saw the similar few seasons back when we played Chelsea and we smoked them in preseason. So I kind of was getting people always say, preseason, you can't count it. But I actually look at it as quite a good indication of how we're going to start, set up, how the team's going to play. So yeah, so going into the season, I was still confident in my team. I just thought, right, Liverpool might be a real problem this season. I wasn't really looking at Man City. I wasn't looking at any of the kind of them, man, Aston Villas, the Chelsea. Not to say they're in it, but Man City especially, I was just like, Rodri got injured. We returned at some point, but I think we'll have a bit too much for Man City. We smoked them as well. I think the season before, so I was like, okay, cool. We're ready to be up there. So I don't know. I think the trajectory of Arsenal as well, second 3 times in a row. I didn't think Arsenal, I didn't believe Arsenal, and they haven't. We're going to be a complete capitulation and just end up, not being a team that's fighting for the Premier League. I wouldn't see them fighting for top 4. I wouldn't see them fighting for European spots. I kind of was confident that Arteta has built enough in this team that we'll be competing for many a year. So even if we don't win it if we do win it this season, I still think next season, I'm not going to say we're going to do it. Listen, doing a back-to-back is very, very hard. I think Man United and Chelsea are the only teams that have done that. So I'm not going to say that's a guarantee, but I'll say we'll still be up there and around it. We'll still be amongst it 100% because we have been for 3 seasons. Let's be real. So I think it's there for them to continue this. I just don't know if it's I can't guarantee a back-to-back, but we'll still be up there fighting for silverware. And hopefully it is this season because I can't do this again. I have to leave content if we. Honestly, I can't put myself through this again.
That's so you're fully well aware, and people who watch my channel when they listen, they know that I'm 21 plus a tiny bit of VAT. So
yeah, I'm 25 plus VAT. I'm with you. And some insurance. Trust me, I'm here. I'm with you.
Yeah. So I've seen life before Arsene Wenger. So that might give you a little bit of indication, people, despite the use of cocoa butter and Vaseline.
Glad your VAT, commission, everything. We look good. It's good.
So I'll be honest, like the start of the season, I didn't have Arsenal down to winning the league, if I'm going to be really, really honest.
Fair.
And I probably, even with, I didn't want to get hoodwinked by our summer window. I thought it was a good window, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a good window.
Because 2 of the players, Cecil, you might have seen on my social posts maybe a couple of times here and there. They call me Albert Nostradamus. The predictions with Eza and Gyökeres, for example. But
yeah,
it's difficult to go again to try and win a league when you've gone kind of close before or closest to get it over the line. It is difficult. It's very difficult to go again. So I kind of was leaning against that Liverpool in the league, and they're going to strengthen for the following season, which is this season. I just want to get your thoughts on it. Was sort of really what your kind of feeling was before the start of the season. But
and
if I fast forward that all the way to you doing fan cam yesterday, I said I don't know. Big up Kenny, Ken, and RJ, my boys. I did an Instagram live earlier. So
I saw Kenny actually. Funny enough, I saw him at Brentford. Yeah, I saw him at Brentford as I was walking. But go on, sorry, carry on.
No, he's giving me a good running commentary. Good old Kenny, Ken. But no, I was saying to him, like, in terms of form guide and the Brentford game, right? If you do watch football outside of just watching Arsenal, which a lot of our fans don't do, if I'm going to be really honest.
Facts. There were no Brentford is.
They're a good team. So I saw the form guide. I think it's us on Brentford kind of in form in terms of wins and going into this game, and it kind of worked out. I knew it'd be a tough game, but having sat down and watch it, and obviously you was there at the game as well, so it was great to pick your brains about that. And Kenny Ken was there as well, and I said it was actually a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be. Having watched it live, because we hear the stuff about that. Fair play to Keith Andrews at Brentford, by the way, because I had him down to be the first manager sacked this season.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what he was going to do, but the transfer window, and is it Igor Thiago up front and Dango Otara and Lewis Potter, and he's got them really well drilled, man. And we found it difficult, and I thought physically, I thought we struggled. Cecil, I thought we struggled. Yeah. We knew we was going to have Havertz. We knew Marino's out. We knew that Saliba wasn't going to start, and obviously Mosquera's coming, which I didn't have an issue with. But I don't know how you felt in the stadium, but sort of watching it, and I heard the stat that Arsenal, I think this is the 9th time this season they've not scored a goal in the first half. But I want to give a bit more credit to Brentford, because I thought they outplayed us in the first half, mate. I don't know what your thoughts were in the first 15-20, but yeah, come in, so brother, go on.
I think, right, so I'll give everyone the context of this. So I wasn't in the away end. I was in the home end, which for me was a mad experience because I've done it one time before. I was hidden in the Bournemouth end when we lost to them last season. I know I got a friend who played for them, and he got me a ticket, and it was uncomfortable watching. Didn't enjoy it until we actually lost that game, and then I was in the home end for this game because they reduced the tickets to one from where I normally get them. So I was like, okay, cool. So I ended up sorting myself a ticket, had to kind of keep a low profile, balaclavaed up and all that and hiding. But I caught obviously watched the full game, and I think if we've got to start really from the beginning when it comes to my feelings, Saliba being out shocked me through illness. Fine that people get ill, I get that. But I knew that would be not a massive blow because Mascara is available, he's fit. But I knew that would be that unsettling the back line always ends up being a bit tricky no matter where you go. And then when you're going to an informed Brentford with an Igor Tiogo, who's second top goal scorer in the league, I think 16 or 17 goals in the league. He's obviously second to Haaland right now. He's on absolute fire. I knew as much as I rate Mascara, that's a tough opposition to come against. And watching him play live, I'll be real, he's a fucking good player. He's a very good player. He's strong.
He gave us a
hard
time. Yeah, he gave us a hard time.
You know what I mean? People will know what I'm trying to say. That he's tough. you know that man. That all right. Yeah. So and he caused a few problems. Obviously, he didn't score the goal, but like he was a handful. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be a tough game. And like you said, the form chart for Brentford, especially at home, is actually very good. Even when Man City beat them, it was only just about got a win there. So like I knew what was coming into. Keith Andrews has been phenomenal for them this season. I just I don't know. I watched the game, and that was it. I think most first halves I've watched of Arsenal, it's like we're feeling out teams. We're trying to work out. Let's just stay in the game. We'll get to half time, see where we're at, and normally we'll nick it in the second half. That has been Arsenal's story for a while. I haven't really seen us. I know there'll people go. Well, I'll probably go back to Leeds game and say, look, we blew them away. But you don't really see Arsenal come in and just say, we're the better team. We've got better players. Let's have it. Let's make this an open game. Let's go for it. You guys can sit in your low block or whatever, but we're going to come at you and show you that why we're top of the league, why we're top of the Champions League, why we're in the final of the Carabao Cup. There's never that sort of arrogance, that sort of swagger from Arsenal, which, listen, all well and good. Where I just reeled off where we're standing in certain competitions. That's due to the fact that Arteta is clearly getting something right. It's just, as a fan, it's not entertaining. It's not what builds confidence. It's not something that, when you know the team's so good, the squad's so good, regardless of injuries or whatnot, you expect, or you'd want the team to just go there and just show their dominance. We don't do that. It's a shame. It didn't happen. So when it got to the first half over, I'll be honest, it got to half time, and then fans coming up to me, even though I was in the Brentford end, because there was a lot of Arsenal fans in there saying, this is not it, man. This is the same old same. And I'm like, you're saying it's the same old same, but it is. You're right. But this is what I'm used to seeing. So I never really expected nothing outlandish. Of course, I want Gyökeres to score. I'm desperate for Eze to actually do something. Like all these things, I'm feeling all these emotions, and because I've had a day to sleep on it a little bit and I've calmed down, I've obviously digested it a little bit. I can just be like, at half time, I can realize that at that time I was actually kind of chill because this is what I'm used to seeing from Arsenal. But I expect us to go to another level in that second half. Obviously, he substituted Eze at half time, which to me is very damning. It's a bit worrying.
It is.
Just on him. He is a great player. Like I've seen it. I've watched the play. I've watched him for England. I've watched him for Palace. I've seen all that. QPR as well. Exactly. Even back then, but he's just not. He's not the same. And maybe because Arsenal's a different club, different pressure and all that. But like the thing that worries me, I'll try and go through all the things that went through my mind a lot throughout the game. Is like I've been a footballer, and not obviously to his level, but I know a player of his level should be wanting the ball. I don't see him demanding the ball. He barely got on the ball. And he's one of the most talented players on that pitch. And you're not even sitting in pockets and saying, yo, give it to me feet here. Like I can work with it. Never did any of that stuff. Which worries me a little bit. And then getting substitute at half time when this is your big chance to really show why you should be in the squad, because Havertz is out, Mika Marino's out, Odegaard's really out. He's actually we're rushing him back because you're not doing anything in that first half. Big concern for me. So that happened. I looked at the back line. People were saying Timber had a horrible game. I think he was all right. He weren't terrible, but he weren't great.
Just off was bad.
Was he bad? Yeah. Maybe I missed it because a lot of people did tell me that. They said, bro, Timber was not. It was probably his worst game. But I must have.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the worst game I've seen play for Arsenal. I thought he was really poor.
Maybe I wasn't across it as much. Yeah. When it comes to his performance in Capie, they said he was really good. Obviously, put the cross in for the goal. I'll give it to him. That goal was good. But everyone else was kind of average. Noni Madueke, I'm going to give him his props as well. People will say about end product. He's giving you end product. He scored that head. Fans were very angry yesterday. Let me make that very clear. I was I'm arguing off camera with all our fans. Like, man is saying Noni Madueke should have got a free. He was terrible. He still got no. And I'm like, bro, he scored us the only goal that stopped us from it being no points and getting one. And it was like, yeah, but he's obviously, some people have agendas. Some people are just caught in the emotion. I get it. Like, you walk out of a stadium and I'll be real. I was vexed. The interview of Robbie allowed me to calm down a little bit, but I was angry. I was fucking, no, honestly, even though I'm swearing now, like, yeah, because again,
what made you so angry? God, tell me.
I think, do you know what it is? Obviously, the main thing is PTSD of it. We've been second 3 times in a row, and we had an opportunity to go 9 points clear many a times, but there's context to that. Like, we've been 6 points clear. Okay, now we're 4. But if we win next week, which I keep saying to everyone, that's where I've like slept on it and I've taken a breather. I've spoken it. Next week could be 7 points clear, and everyone's happy again. Everyone's happy. It's like the internet, Twitter's not going crazy. Like, people are saying, but like, that's how quick football can change. That's how fickle fans can be. So I'm not. But at the stage when I walked out of the stadium, I was vexed because I spoke about Eze there, annoying. I watched Gyökeres. Gyökeres I backed from the beginning, and I've got a video on my phone of him. I've got a video because I video a lot of the games at times. I've got a video of him taking a touch with the ball, and he doesn't even know where the ball is. The ball's just bobbling between his feet, and I'm like, brother, you are playing for Arsenal, and you are our main striker, and you just look lost. So there's that situation. There's that issue there. Like, Saka's coming back, and is he being rushed back? I don't know, but he's not the same as I've seen. And I'm like, we're going for the title. You've held us for years and backed us and carried this team. And this could be the year where we win it. We actually need you to be. Right now, we're fine right now, but there's going to be a time I need my star boy back as the star boy he was of a couple of seasons ago. And I'm worried that doesn't come back. Martin Odegaard is our captain. Brother, like, people say he come on and done it. We definitely did better than Eze, but I'm like, bro, the goal was conceded because of, so as harsh as it is, because it ran off your man. I know people say Gabriel lost the flick on, but if I'm being real, if Mikel Merino was in that box where Odegaard was, that goal doesn't go in. He heads that away. Yeah. Kai Havertz, he's quite timid, Kai Havertz, at times, but he's a bit of a brute. Like, he would stop the man from running through him. So that frustrates me. And the injuries to those two players means we haven't got a combative option in midfield. I keep talking about this. I was like, Arteta had the luxury of having Eze and Odegaard, who are very technical, can get on the ball, find a pass. Obviously, they're not been great so far. Then you have the other option of, okay, if you don't want to be technical and look pretty, you can go combative and have Havertz and Mikel Merino in there who win you the balls aerially and can play second striker. So now we've kind of reduced to that technical midfield. And if I'm honest, it's just not clicking. It's not clicking. They're not looking at Gyökeres. They're not pushing the ball forward and quick enough. So I have a lot of concerns. So I'm saying all this to say I walked out that stadium frustrated as hell, bro. Like, very angry. And then, like, fans are like having a go at me. And I'm like, bro, I'm not playing. Like, and you're telling me we're gonna bottle it and all this. I'm like, bro, I don't control this. And then Robbie's trying to tell everyone to calm down and relax, and he's right in the sense that when you're going for titles, like, you don't win every game. I'm fully aware of that. I understand that, but it just felt like that was a big opportunity to just carry on this winning form. We have a nice run of games. When we had tough games, we won them or got the maximum points out of them. And I'm like, oh, we didn't need to. Well, not that we didn't need to, but I was like, oh, I'm quite surprised we got over that hurdle. Now I'm looking at this run of games and thinking, City have loads of difficult games. If we can just win these games, we'll put ourselves in a really good position. But we've dropped points. I had the same feeling walking out of this game as Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, I was fuming. Like, head was completely gone. I had to take a breath and breathe before I did interviews. Robbie and that will know. They said I was too over the top, but I knew what that was. We should have won that game. Like, we can win those sort of games. And it feels like this season now is becoming like that. It's like, we can win these games, but you see that little extra percentage, but we can't. I don't know. Sometimes it's either here nor there, because it's like, we're staying in the game and you either get the goal and you win the game, or you concede and it ends up being a draw. So I'm like, that little extra percentage, I'm sure we have it in our locker. It feels like we're saving it because we have so many fixtures coming up. We're fighting on all 4 fronts. We have all these cup competitions. But I'm like, that's all well and good, but we have a squad and we have to be able to, I don't know, go to that, especially in this business end, go to that next level. And we're losing players. So we just got to leave it all out there. No fan can go through being second again. And I know the players will feel the same, but they've been here 6 years. We've been watching this club. I'm 25 plus that. I've been watching them since the last time we won a trophy. It's been over 20 years. So trust me, we need to see something happen this season when it comes to silverware. So yeah, I was very angry. Sorry, I'm diverted from the question. Walking out the stadium, I was very angry, and also I had Brentford fans kind of laughing in my face as I was walking out because they started to clock me. So it became very, very frustrating. Big up the Highbury squad as well.
Yeah.
Big up.
Big up Sophie. Yeah, I was on there yesterday
So
after the game doing post match with Sophie. Yeah, big up Dollar in the chat. Potsy's
yeah,
lovely.
that's it.
Yeah.
I just think the fan base is in a peculiar
They're
position.
they're in a very delicate. They're in
We're
a
very
very
emotional.
delicate
Yeah,
position.
yeah, very
Yeah.
delicate. And I understand that. Like I speak to fans every day, so like I understand why. I'm trying to see. You know what I mean? You're always trying to find a positive side. You're always trying to just be like on the glass half full side, but it's like it does become difficult. I do remember we got to remember we are 4 points clear. It's not over yet.
So I'm only one voice in the Arsenal community. So what I will say is, and this is Big Brother speaking, man.
Talk to me.
I think what it is, there's a mixture of things I could sort of nail it down. Let me talk about in terms of quickly. I thought Arsenal's performance yesterday, especially in the first half, and when it went to 1-1, I thought it was very, very disjointed. I think the problem in some of the games you're talking about, the Forest game, the Man United game at home, the Liverpool game at home, and people say to me, okay, I'll say to them, look, we can go around the houses and pluck any type of words from the Oxford thesaurus of certain words, but it does come down, for me, it comes down to one thing with these group of players, and it's mentality.
Yeah, a lot of people say mentality.
Because the thing is, Cecil, now people might say, oh, but Joker's won in Portugal and Zubimendi's won with Spain and Kai Havertz is a Champions League winner. That's fine. But in terms of a group of players of Arsenal, they don't have a reference point in terms of winning and getting over the line.
Correct.
And the first opportunity they're going to have to correct that. And I'm not going to bypass, obviously, the league is the bread and butter to all of us, we're really, really honest. Even though if you gave me a choice out of the two, the Premier League and the Champions League, I'd snap my hand off and take the Champions League. I have my reasons for that. But I think they don't have a reference point of winning. So in order to do that, that cup final is massive. Not just because it's a cup final, Cecil. It's the fact that
I know
the last final we was in, there were no fans.
Yep, correct.
We had been to a final for 6 years. We're starved of silverware. And for me, and I said this on the hybrid, Sophie was actually in the hybrid squad, and Donna's probably heard me say it. When you win, like in sport, when you win a big semi-final, and people get interviewed after a match or a tournament, they go, "Oh, who do you prefer to play in the final?" And they don't really care. But I'm no, it does care for me. I wanted City in the final.
Yeah,
because what you have to do, you have to win not just big matches, but big matches in terms of silver and winning major finals.
Of course,
we've got an opportunity to put that right come March. Now,
22nd of March,
if I forward it to, if I go back to the Premier League, it's a tough one because there's so many different things I could sort of talk to you about. And I'll talk to you in terms of for example, the attacking side of Arsenal. None of our forward line have double figures in GA.
Yeah, facts. I know. Yeah, I know.
Not one. None of them. Now, we often spoke about the manager, and since we're not in a training ground, you might hear things, but I don't want you to divulge that now with the street. But
that's all good.
Sophie will vouch and Donna will vouch me. Arteta's more under the scope of, he played for Moyes and Wenger, but he's more David Moyes. And I even go even further, Cecil, he's more like George Graham.
Yeah.
He's been mentally scarred from the 2 seasons before, not getting over the line, right? We played better football than we did. Now, I don't think Mikel cares, for example, respectfully to you and to me.
Of course, of how we want to play. If we want to see beautiful
we're not blowing teams away.
Yeah.
If it's 0-0 after 60 minutes.
Yeah, of course. He doesn't care. Of course
he doesn't care. If we nick a set piece, how sustainable that is another question.
Yeah.
You don't have to win the league pretty. That's one thing. But sort of coming back to you, I guess in terms of the mentality thing I want to touch on, because that's a question where we do podcasting. I've met you many times. We spoke football, and people that have got channeled up and down the YouTube fraternity. Is the one thing that's always going to get labelled at us as Arsenal fans is, can Mikel get us over the line? Do you feel more confident that he can, taking into entirety this season, than you did before? How do you feel about the manager and Arsenal going forward?
I'm a big fan of Mikel Arteta. I'll be honest, I am. But and I know it's different to many people, and I have backed him for many a year. I just think the real question is, like you just said there, it's a big question. Can he get us over the line? We're yet to see that. It's something that I can't unequivocally stand double down on that he can do it, because I haven't seen it. So I can't say that. What I can say is about mentality, like you said. First thing is, I've been a footballer, so I understand what it's like to be in a dressing room under pressure going for a title. I get that, right? But I feel actually there's two things I want to look at it. Firstly is he sat the players down. That was what he did. Recently he had a conversation with them. It was after I think it was after he lost to Man United. He sat them down and said, and he said he had a conversation with players, and he said after that, he clearly could see everyone knew what the goal was, where everyone's mindset is, and everyone is on board. They're all on this boat or whatever it is. If you want to get on this boat, jump on it with us. So after that conversation, as much as Mikel Arteta can lie at times, or he may twist the truth, I actually felt it was being genuine in that moment. And I've been at clubs where it's a big week, a big couple of weeks coming up where you can win silverware with a club. It happens at a lot of football clubs, and they say, right, we have to lock in. This is a time where this is where time we can lock in and we can win some serious silverware. So I was like, cool, I'm with it. And then I've seen somebody's performance. I'm like, so what the hell happened to that chat? Like, you don't seem as serious as I thought, sorry, at first. And then also I want to mention, like you said there, that cup game, that Carabao Cup game. I've mentioned it. It's on my story right now on Instagram. There is no bigger lift mentally, and if I'm honest, that physical boost you'll get from standing on top of that Wembley arena, at Wembley on top of the balcony, and looking down at the other team that you've just beat on the pitch with their second place medals as they clap you and cheer you in your guard of honor up the stairs. There's no better lift than that. And if you don't want to go on and win this league, I'm telling you, I know as a human, you winning that game will give you that psychological edge that will push you all the way. And people will say, "Oh, winning the Carabao Cup doesn't guarantee anything." I'm telling you, it will do a lot more better than it will do so much. More positive belief and action than it would do harm if we lost that and we're sat at the bottom on the pitch looking at them.
And look who we're playing as well.
Exactly, it's Man City, and we have to play them after that when the gap might be closer than what it is now. It might be further away, but I know. If I was in that change room at Man City and I'm lifting the Carabao Cup, looking down at them, I'll be saying, as soon as I get back in, we've done our parade, we've done a celebration, we're going back to the changing room. I would be the captain of that team saying, look, boys, we've done it already. We've beaten them. We've got to play them again soon. We win that game and go on a little run. The Premier League is ours. So I would, and I know that's what they're saying. So I would know as a player, and probably Pep as well as a manager, will be saying, listen, that cup final is massive. I've got two things that kind of assure me if we're going to win this league or not. Next week against Wolves, if we drop points against, or this week coming, if we drop points against Wolves, I'm sorry, that's crazy. That is crazy. If that happens, and City obviously beat Newcastle, it becomes 1 point. I can't lie, I'm going to start to panic. Or if we lose in the Carabao Cup again, this is all mentality reasons. I would start to panic. So the question obviously was about Arteta. Listen, I trust in him. I'm backing him. This is it's not his final season because the board will probably try and keep him on. But I'm telling you, if he doesn't win silverware, the fans will override everything. They're already on tender hooks. Trust me. We almost got physical between fans last night. So
Jesus,
it's crazy. So I'm letting people know that listening, like, and people are aware we're very emotional. We've seen it. You can go and jump on X.
We are a very reactionary fan base. We have been for years.
Yeah, and sometimes it's for the worst, if I'm honest. It's a detriment. But I will say, like, if he doesn't win anything, I'll throw everything out. I'll be turning on him. I always used to say, like, I would never be the front of the Arteta out brigade. But if he doesn't win anything, I think all of us, a lot of fans will be very vocal. But for now, I'm backing him. I trust he can get silverware over the line this season with this squad. I am obviously concerned about the way we're playing, but it's not going to change now just because, like you said, us content creators are online saying, I want to see 6 and 7s and 6 and 7, 5s, 4s, 6s, whatever. That's not how football works. Like, it's just frustrating because obviously we all grew up as Arsenal fans on beautiful football, the Arsenal way, the way we pop the ball and move the ball. I actually believe this team has all the capabilities to play like that, but we just don't because we've been coached a different way, which is fine right now because we are where we are. But that's it for now. Get us over the line. Like Thierry Henry said, he said his job was to make us win. We are winning. So I'm not going to be I can be critical of certain things, but I'm not going to over complain right now. I can be critical on what I foresee coming, and we kind of discussed some of those things already. So
Yeah, listen, the Mikel thing for me, and I've spoken. I'd like to think I've been quite level-headed. I'm probably not during the watch-alongs. If you want to
of course,
on Dan's
emotional.
channel, we're watching
Yeah,
Arsenal. But with Mikel, obviously, because I've asked you the question about him. If Sophie might still be in the chat, but when we played Brighton away January last year. Get that right, yeah, January last year. And we drew 1-1, the whole sleeper penalty thing and ridiculous decision.
Oh yes, the kick. Yeah, that was there. Yeah,
and I was on Hybrid Squad. We did the post match, and I said my words at the time were, "There's nothing personal against Mikel because he's come in at a time when Arsenal were we weren't in a good place, man. If we're going to be really, really honest,
of course.
But with modern football the way it is now, you don't get a lot of time as a manager. The last week has probably testified to that. But I said that maybe sometimes, just sometimes, players need to hear a new voice. And the heat me and Sophie got back on the Hybrid Squad at the chat was actually unbelievable, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because we didn't say it was almost kind of a feeling from not all the people in the chat box at the time that was watching the show with Sophie and me, and I think it's me and Sophie and someone else. I think it might be me and Sophie, but
yeah,
it's almost kind of, if you know this, Cecil, what I'm about to say, if you dare have any critique about Mikel, you better take cover.
All right. Let me just quickly before you go. Let me stop you there. Just for the people that kind of threw the fire at you and Sophie, from young player, I can't say who, at the club right now, they even think Arteta, he's a lot, and there's been, and I know this for a fact. Some of the they're on board. They're doing. Listen, they're going for. They obviously, of course, they're under him, and then they trust in what he does, and he's incredible. Like he will tell you how games will play out if you play a certain way and whatnot. But I know when I asked him, I said, "How is it under Mikel?" He said, "Bro, it is a lot. Like at times, it can be too much, but it's a lot. He's very meticulous and particular about everything. And sometimes as a player,
you can see that. Yeah.
And sometimes as a player, that can grind on you. That can. So to say that, potentially sometimes you need a new voice. That's facts. At times, like sometimes sometimes you've taken the club as far as you can go, and you need someone else to step in to take you over the line. That's in general football. But I know from a player at the club saying, bro, it can be a lot. So I understand what that can be sometimes on you when you're such a good player and you want to be able to express yourself, but you have someone who's very meticulous and wants you to do exactly what you've been instructed throughout the week. It can sometimes be tough. So interesting that I'm surprised you got so much heat for that, because
Sophie vouched me, obviously, like I was on her channel, and because the thing is, I said, look, sometimes regardless whether you're a team going for a league title or you're pushing for European places in terms of European competition, or you want to stay in the league even, sometimes if players hear the same voice and the same message, they become immune to it. So then the question obviously comes after, but are you going to get? I said, that's not my job. Because the thing is, if I give you a name, you'll turn around and say it's ridiculous that I could even come out of a name and we're not going to get him. But that football doesn't work like that. I'm not there to make decisions. I'm there to support the club. And from what I'd seen at that point in terms of the last season, and that was at January 2025. So we come through quite a good period of games at that time. So I'm looking at the players and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I do need to hear a new voice. But yeah, the pushback you get with any critique of Mikel, it's been there, and it bubbles to the surface at times depending on what the result goes. But I vocally said that at the time in January last year, and it was quite surprising the sort of we disrespectful to Mikel when he's come in at a different time. I said that we're not disputing that, but what you must trust as a fan is sometimes your own set of eyes don't lie to you.
Facts.
I'm not a coach, Cecil. I'm not a tactician, but the reality is, what do you want me to say? We're not playing good football at the time. Mikel's been at the job a number of years. Yes, he stabilized the club and got us moving, competing for a league title.
Yeah, back competing. Yeah, correct.
I'll come back to you with this. The same question is going to be posed: is he the man to get us over the line? Do you give him another 2, 3, 4 years? You know what?
I mean,
The thing is,
another two, three, 4. If you don't win anything, that's oh, that's 9 years.
Let me put it another way. Then that makes more sense. So, what I would say to fans that are very hook, line, and sinker with Mikel is that where does it get to you as a fan who's a big fan of Mikel at the club? At what point does it get to where forget what the owners are going to do? They're going to do what they're going to do. As you as a fan that are backing, well, you should be backing the club more so, not just one individual.
Of course. It's end of the season.
At what point does it? What point do you say to yourself, enough is enough, sort of thing?
Yeah,
and a lot of people can't answer it.
Yeah, at the end of the season, it could, I'll be honest, it could get a lot worse. We could lose the Carabao Cup, then get knocked out of the Champions League. It could go earlier than that. But if I'm being logical and fair, end of this season, I mean, you want the truth. Last season, I said if he doesn't win anything last season, I'm done with Arteta, which is, and I was quite adamant about that. And then I got kind of swayed to say, look, there were so many injuries. They had the most injuries last season. I was like, yeah, but that shouldn't really be an excuse because I'm a fan. I can put my hand up and say I don't really care if I change my mind. But I said, nah, I kind of came to the end of the season. Then I really did look at the injuries and thought, okay, it would have been tough to do anything when you have that many injuries. And then Andrew Berta come in and did a madness, and the squad was unbelievable. And I said, well, now there's no excuse. There's actually no excuse. And even with the injuries you have now, I don't use them as excuses. I say, you have to deal with that. Like you knew from last season that was the catalyst why we didn't win silverware. So now we've got the squad that you should be able to mix and mingle, which you're doing. You've done so well so far. So there's no excuses for this season. There's literally none. I don't care what it is. Unless there's literally nothing that could say you've given all the tools to go and win silverware. This is fully your squad. This is your way of playing. This is all your ideas. This is all you. So that's where I'm at. I said at the end of this season, we can do a full assessment, and some would say some trophies aren't enough. I want silverware. I know people want the big two. I think we're in a position where you probably can start to eradicate some of the smaller trophies and say, no, if he doesn't win this, then it's time for him to go. Because, and I feel that feels so harsh. There's only 4 trophies to win in the league, and I feel that is quite harsh. But when you're in a position where you're in a final already, you're top of the league, and you could have been top of the league by 9, 12 points, but cool, it's reduced to 4, but you're still top of the league in 2026 in February. Cool. And then you're in the Champions League after winning every game. The new record, like perfect record. Cool. So you're deemed kind of as favourites. Obviously, it doesn't work out like that. Liverpool were top of the Champions League group stage, and they didn't win the Champions League. So it doesn't always work out like that. But you're in kind of pole position. In FA Cup, you never know, but you expect to go into the later round. So there's not really much. I think the Arteta fans, which I consider myself, I'm a fan of him, that they can stand on if we don't win anything this season, or if we don't win something of major significance.
Yes, that's all. I was thinking this today, and it'd be interesting to get your thoughts, really. Like, so, because obviously you mentioned in regards to like the transfer window, and I said this on the Instagram live. I got a bit passionate about it, which I don't really care, but I did.
Go on.
It's because you kind of touched it with Mikel, because we're at the point of the season where we're at, right, in terms of February.
Yeah.
And I do sympathize that, because it's like, well, you can't win anything silverware right now. Cool. So Arsenal are top of the league, although it'd be by 4 points. It should be more, but it's not. It's 4. We have to take that. We're done winning the Champions League by winning all 8 games. We're FA Cup game Sunday.
Sunday against Wigan.
We're in the final. So at that point, there's not a lot you could do. So let me come back to what I said before. In regards to the summer window, and this is the thing with the whole Mikel thing, is that if you're going to be sections of our fan base, you're going to absolutely rinse him and criticize him. That's fine. But at the same token, there's sections of our fan base when it came to the summer window, for example, they was crying, oh my God, City have got Reinders and Cherky, and Liverpool got Diverts and Isak. How the league's done. And by the way, so that's before a ball's kicked. So as Arsenal fans, you can't have it both ways. You can't slam the manager saying he needs to get over the line and win a trophy. But as fans or sections of our fan base, you've already given up and given a league title to Liverpool and Manchester City without a ball being kicked. So what way do you want it? And on top of that, just to come back to you, how can I put this? So
It's interesting. Fans, you're right. Fans do confuse themselves with that, to be fair.
Yeah, coming on that, and I was going to ask you something else.
Yeah, no, yeah, have a think why that's why I say it's a good point made. Like I said at the beginning of this video, so I haven't contradicted myself. I said I always thought Arsenal still going to win this league from the beginning of the season, but I was shocked by Liverpool's window and said, blimey, they're going to be tough. They're going to be up there. They could do back to back.
Was you panicking, Cecil? Was you panicking?
I wasn't panicking. I just said, Ross, like bloody hell. I remember seeing them move to Newcastle and be like, listen, we're taking Isak, and if you don't give us Isak, we'll take your target Ekatike as well. And I went, blood clot. These are on some different energy, and then they did it. Like it's not even like they said they were gonna do it, and then they did it. I said, yeah, these lot are not coming to play, so they're not ramping. So I said, all right, cool, this is gonna be tough. And then obviously, I'll be honest, I didn't have the foresight that some people said, like when Real Madrid got all the Galacticos, like it didn't work out for them recently and all that. Like, and same with PSG. I didn't see that. I just thought, all those good players, with the fact that they've won the Premier League, they're going to be up there, they're going to be challenging. But I did believe in Arsenal. Like I said, rose tinted glasses. Sometimes I am a bit biased. Of course, I'm an Arsenal fan. So I believed in my team. But you're right. I think you can't be a fan that says, oh, they got all these and I'm worried now. And not that you're worried, but we're not going to win the league because they've done all this business. That's nonsense. Even in the January window, when Man City got Gay and Semenyo, I'm seeing fans like panicking. I'm like, guys, like, come on now. Like, we've still got good players. Like, you don't just because they got 2 new players doesn't mean that's it. It's done. Like, our team is still very good. And a lot of teams that they're coming from, we've beaten those teams. So, yeah, man, I think you have to stay true to what you've said. Like, people can change, people can flip flop. I think this space is such an interesting space where you can't go back on your word or you can't change your mind. But
you can't do that. No,
I know you can't do that. Otherwise, you go to jail for life. So, like, I find it actually mad. But for me, I don't know. I backed the team from the beginning, and I've only been proven to keep backing this team. I mean, right now we're going through a shaky period. We didn't lose yesterday, but there's that voice in the back of every Arsenal fan's head that's saying, it could happen again. So, like, I hear that. But again, we're in pole position for most competitions. I'm not gonna flip the script now. I know I'm happy to change my mind, but there's no way I'm flipping the script and saying it's all over. Get him out. We're all gonna capitulate. I'm not doing that. I know the players need that support as well. But I think Sophie's right. She did say it for, like, some of these players do need to. It's not even grow up is an interesting statement, but I think it's more just like, you give it the talk. You say, this is what you want to win. You want to win. So I heard Saliba speak recently this week saying, we know what we're here to do. We're here to win silver. Yeah. Nothing. I can't deem myself part of the best or amongst certain names because I haven't won trophies yet. Like, they're doing all the things and saying all the right things. So go and prove
do it.
Like, go do it. Like, not even enough of the talking, because I get it. You're a footballer. You're gonna get asked those questions, but show us. Like, go and show us the fight. Go and show us the hunger. Like, show us that you're built for this, because we've seen it. We've seen it in previous games. You can get the job over the line when it comes to winning games, but continue it. When the pressure comes, this is when you really find out what your team's made of. So, yeah.
Like they say, Cecil, they say pressure is a privilege. Arsenal players need to show it. And sort of come on to that, and it touches on Sophie talking about the players and you sort of kind of backing up kind of thing. I'd add even further to that, and I said it before, and it's quite relevant to keep saying it again until we get proved right. Is that, we had a few years with a crop of these Arsenal players where you missed out on Champions League football. Everyone remembers the penultimate Tottenham game and Newcastle game and missing out on Champions League. So you've got the scars and knowing how it feels not to get over the line in that sense. Then you fast forward to the two charges to try and win the Premier League against the juggernaut of Manchester City, and obviously Liverpool won it last season. So again, the group of players don't want to go through the same ritual and the same pain of not getting over the line.
Yeah.
And this fast forward on to kind of, and I've said this before, I was so angry after the Carabao Cup semi-final, particularly the second leg at St James's Park. And I'll tell you why, because when Sophie mentions the players, this group of players have been together for a good period of time. Even at that point, even talking to now with a few more additions, to be putting in a performance like that was completely unacceptable, considering what was at stake to make a major final. So these players are not children. Erdogan's 27. I think Gabriel Margulies is 27. Saka and Martinelli, I think, are both 24. They're not kids, Cecil. Like, you need to be getting over the line now. Yeah, we can sit here and criticize and critique and pan Mikel Arteta. But when in terms of the players, this is not a team that's been assembled 6 months ago. There's no more excuses. And so we're coming back and just adding a bit more successful to bring you back in. I remember what I was going to say now.
Yeah.
Ethan Nwaneri has gone out on loan.
Oh, don't.
Berry Eza. Noni Madueke a tiny bit. I'll say a tiny bit because he's featured in a few more of the games. But the creative players at Arsenal, to be honest, have had no impact. How much you put that down to responsibility is on them, combined with or the way Mikel sets up the team. Because the problem is, Cecil, you can bring in the best creative players in Europe or the hottest striker in Europe in terms of Gyökeres, which we'll come on to a little bit. But you have to remember who the manager is. And that's the problem.
Yeah, twofold questions here because I liked where I was going before. And I kind of want to briefly touch on what you was talking about firstly, the players. I just think it's funny. One thing that always sticks in my mind is Mo Salah. Listen, I'm lucky enough to work within the space and do various jobs. I did the PFA Awards, red carpet hosted.
Fantastic, bro.
Amazing, yeah. Salah come up to me and we spoke and he said, you guys are you guys are going to be dangerous this year. I think you go on and win it. Everyone says it's all mind games. And then he explained why he thought that. We've been together for the longest time. He said the squad's been together. They know they obviously missed out a few times on the league, but they now know what it takes. He says we're going to be favourites for the title this year. Obviously, because of the windows Liverpool had, everyone thought he was trolling. He's a very intelligent guy, whatnot. But it kind of was proven right pretty early on because yes, we lost to Liverpool early on, but then after that we've been pretty much top of the league for the majority of the season. So it seems like he kind of knew what he was talking about, and that kind of I looked at it and I said, oh, maybe that is a factor. The players really do, know each other very well, and they understand what it is, and then they've got an understanding of each other and the players. And then I go and think what you said there is like, is it on the players, and do they not want to they have to get it over the line? They have to, regardless of what trophy it is. By the way, people that turn their nose up at Carabao Cups are actually crazy right now.
To me,
it's actually mental, especially as an Arsenal fan. The reason why I say that is because I'm around football fans constantly. We are one of the clubs that haven't won a trophy in recent years across loads of clubs. By the way, Man United in their darkest era, the banter era, have won trophies before, sooner than we have, right? Chelsea haven't actually, I don't think. Oh no, Club World Cup, of course they have. Chelsea have. Tottenham, arch enemies, never win trophies. Rivals, obviously Europa League, they've won a trophy as well. Liverpool obviously won the league last season. Man City have won the league and multiple trophies as well recently. There's so many clubs. I'm actually probably missing a few as well. Crystal Palace, Newcastle, teams that have never even won trophies in their careers in the whole time of their existence. Crystal Palace, for instance, have won trophies sooner than we have. So when I look at the players, I think, firstly, are you not embarrassed? Firstly, that's one thing. But also, come on, people, come together and understand that you have an opportunity. You're a big club anyway. Clearly, when you signed for Arsenal, you've been part of this. You understand how big Arsenal is. A lot of these players have come from lesser teams, shall we say, and you can feel the pressure. You understand what it is to play for Arsenal. It's a massive club. So, but to cement yourself at this massive club and become a legend, which can be done, is I know it's easier said than done, but lock in, focus, and come together and understand that all it takes is a trophy. And I don't even sound desperate for trophies. I feel like I'm sounding like a Tottenham fan. But this is where we're at right now because we're in such good position. So that's one thing on the players. I think it's very, very key that you need to we need to win silver, regardless of what it is. And it's not just on the manager, but the players that go out, cross that white line, it's down to you guys to, get the job done. That's a fact. So they don't escape any criticism. Trust me, I'm on them as much as I'm on the manager. The question you said is obviously around the creative players and Mikel being the manager. Does that affect, our creativity? It's interesting. I've seen Arteta bring on Ethan Nwaneri a few times and played him when he first was coming through. I played him higher up the pitch because it's he's young. Go and express yourself. Don't worry about getting back into the defensive duties, which, in my opinion, I think our players have to do a lot. That's the way we play. That is the way we play. It's a bit of a shame because Saka talks about it all the time. You see Martinelli comes on, he does a lot of defensive duties more than he does attacking at times. And we praise him more for how he defends as well. Saka always talks about when he speaks to Thierry, like, I'm glad that you recognize how hard we have to work backwards as well as going forward. So that stunts a little bit as a player, stunts your creativity a little bit because you're focusing on, okay, if I go and break and try and beat this man 1-on-1 and I lose the ball, it's my fault if I don't get back and cover whatnot. If my player's being too doubled up on, I have to be there to even the balance. So we have to work just as hard forward as back. So that's the wingers, yeah? That kills that, right? When it comes to our creative number 10s, is it stumped by the tactics or is it them? This question,
tough question, it's answer,
annoys me because it's like, no, the reason why I say that is because, like, the manager clearly has a part to play because he has tactics. Like I said, I've known from players he's very meticulous and every
on the touchline on the week.
You see him. He's never in his box.
He's relentless. Yeah,
exactly. He's arguing a lot. But like, I also say, can't you just go against your manager at times and just be a bit free and play to your strengths? Because when I was a player, I hate being overcoached. But in this era, I feel like every team in some capacity is overcoached. But I'm just like, sometimes just do what you need to do and go and express yourself. Show your quality. We saw Declan Rice take the free kick against Real Madrid twice. Fucking Andrea Berto. Sorry, not Andrea Berto. What I'm talking about. The set piece coach. I can't believe his name just slipped my mind.
Nicola Jova.
Yeah. And Arteta will tell him not to shoot. Tell him to cross it in. He went against that, and look what happened. It created a moment that will live. I know we didn't win the Champions League. That will live in a lot of Arsenal fans' memory, especially the younger ones. So it's like you went against what you're being told there. Why can't we do more of that? I remember Eze at Bilbao away, Arteta's screaming at him because he's drifting inside to get on the touchline. I'm like, brother, like, let him go and like. These are luxury world-class players, and I'm not saying they've earned enough of the respect to say we're going to build the team around you, but sometimes let the creative players go and create. I came from an era of playing where from the back to about the midfield and into the final third, we will tell you we'll get the ball there. We'll play in this quarter when the fullback receives the ball here. I need at least 2 players here, so they have 2 options. I understand all that. That's fine. That's how we grew up on playing football in academies and in pro level. But when it got to the box, the final third, that's why you get paid the most money. Go and express yourselves. Go and do it. That's why you're on the most money, because that's what you do best. I don't see that in the Arsenal Football Club. So I think it is on Arteta a little bit. It might be overcoached. But saying that, I've seen chances that we've missed as Martinelli, Timber last night, say Declan Rice and all those players. That's not on Arteta. Like, missing chances isn't on Arteta. He doesn't tell you, no, missed the goal. like or hit a shot off so we can get a corner. I don't believe in all that. Oh, you play for corners. Fuck all that.
Yeah. So, Cecil, you know what it is, Cecil? Sorry to come in. Yeah, it's just I think with Mikel, it's almost, if you don't work hard first, you don't play. I mean, look at the error, the goal that led to Matty Cash scoring. We didn't see Eze again. Now I know for a fact, the Brentford goal yesterday, Martin Odegaard's not going to be banished out of the side for 6 games.
Yeah.
What you can't, if you're gonna hold it against Ethan, for example, maybe not working hard off the ball. I'm surmising, so I'm just assuming that's a reason. But
yeah, I think he wanted more game time. I think he wanted more game because someone told me today that he opted to move on because he wanted more game time. So I think apparently from what I was told, this is just a fan, by the way. This can be absolute nonsense, but he said that. I'll be true. If it's a credible source, I'll let you all know it's a credible source. But he said that he, I think he went to Mikel Arteta and said that he wanted more minutes, so the only best option was to go on loan. However, that's all well and good, but that means you made the player feel that way because I think he could have got more minutes. There was plenty of games he could have got more minutes.
100%.
I'm not saying he should be starting. I'm very frustrated he's on loan right now. It's on loads of content across AFTV where I said I think it's the wrong decision to send him on loan. Robbie was like, no, it's good for his development and we're getting a good loan fee, all of that. I think BS to that. I think if Ranieri is a quality player in the season where we were struggling, Mikel Marino had to go up front, he was the prime player I was looking at and getting me off my seat to say
something different, spark.
He played with no fear. They couldn't prepare for him. He was unbelievable. And I think to go from that to then not even getting in the side and now being pushed on loan, I thought was ridiculous when he had that much quality and was kind of an unknown quantity in this team. But hey, I'm not the board. It's not my decision, but I would have at least had a callback clause in that contract or just not done it at all. So yeah, that's on the club and on the manager. That I wasn't happy with.
Well said. People, smash the like button away, when you watch this back. on the rerun, and you will hear me and my brother Cecil's dulcet tones on the audio, on the Spotify, on the Apple, and whatever other downloads you listen to out there.
Oh, you're good on everything, yeah. But how you going to every life's good over it. I like this Albert, man. Nice intro. I like the nice visuals, nice border. Big up. And someone in the chat, sorry, Cecil G. Yeah, of course, I remember the shop back in the day.
Of
clothing. Just let me throw that in there. I'm not old though. I'm a young G. I told you already, 25 plus VAT, and the VAT ain't too high. But there's no in it. But yeah, no. But of course, I know the shop. Anyway, sorry about that.
No worries, man. We're gonna wrap up for this minute, but I want to ask you about one player in particular.
Go
on. Because obviously you see me when I posted about a certain striker I particularly wanted at Arsenal. Even before, I didn't really hear anybody mention him. If I'm gonna be honest, sort of talking. Everyone's talking about Watkins and Isak and Vlahovic and Tony. Oh, there was so I said, look, Victor.
I'm intrigued to hear what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, Gyökeres was the one I went on, and I said that 2 Decembers ago.
Yeah,
and that was in his first season at Sporting Lisbon. And I didn't waver. I said if it can happen. I obviously didn't believe it was gonna happen at the time.
Yeah,
but fast forward to him, Victor being our man, and he joins the club. And I'm not going to say too much. I want to hear what you got to say, really. I just think the way he's been coveraged by, whether it be other YouTube podcasts, broadcasters, journalists, I think has been pretty shameful.
Yeah.
Now, people go, oh, yeah, but I'll be wanting him at the club. I said, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I wanted him at the club or not. I look at a lot of our sections of our fan base, who pod in particular, and they show a lot of grace to a lot of Arsenal players.
Agreed.
Because they might like them a lot.
Agreed.
He's been there for a number of years, but you want to ridicule a guy that's been here for 5 months. Now, people go, oh, yeah, but Albert, we're desperate for trophies. I've got insatiable appetite. I couldn't give a shit. The reality is you cannot just hang that lasso around one player's neck.
Facts.
You can't do that. As long as this league's been going, then I'm old enough to remember before the Premier League, so I know what I'm talking about. It's difficult to come to this league and hit the ground running. Not everybody does it. Some people are better than doing it than others, but the coverage he's got, Victor Gyökeres, I sometimes have to sit down and say to myself, I'm looking at pods and written pieces, I'm like, this isn't critique, this is personal.
It
really, really is. And even when he does score, Cecil, I'd even argue, sorry for backing up in the chat, sometimes I think it's even worse. It's very passive aggressive. I think to myself, the guy's been here 5 months. He had this didn't really have a pre-season. Got injured part of the season.
Yeah, correct.
Could he do better? Victor Gyökeres would want to do better. Don't worry about what I think.
Yeah, facts.
What's your thought? What have you made of sort of his time at Arsenal? I'm behind him. Look,
I am.
Reasons, but
I am as well because I was in your camp as well. I was backing him. I wanted him. I didn't want Sesko. I never even looked. I never wavered. I never even entertained the Sesko. I didn't even normally I research players I have to as part of my job, but I normally would go into in depth and say, okay, what are we getting? With Sesko, I said, nah. Don't want him. Gyökeres is the one. Obviously, he hasn't been what I've expected. He won the Gerd Müller trophy. He come back off winning a Ballon d'Or season. Obviously, Gerd Müller Ballon d'Or trophy with being scoring the most goals, best striker of that season. So I had high expectations for him. But like you said, I'm aware, people even said it, coming from the Portuguese league is difficult to then transition to Premier League. But then there's those same people still then slander him like he's the worst player in the world. And at times I've been disappointed in him just for the basics of being a striker. So hold on the ball. Sometimes I'm quite disappointed. Sometimes we can't hold up the ball properly, or sometimes it's touch. However, I've seen him score goals, maybe for Sporting, but also at Arsenal to say, okay, he can be a bit of a handful. And I can see defenders do worry about him because they do stay occupied by him because they understand what striker and what he's done at other clubs. So he's not a complete dud. He's got 13 goals in all competitions this season. If he ends up getting 20 goals in all competitions, I don't think and if we win silverware, that's not a bad contribution to the season. But in your first season, I think I'll be more than happy with that. That's only 7 goals left to do in a lot of games. So I don't know. I think, like you mentioned, I think some people have gone a bit overboard. Of course, I think it's the whole of it's all expectation, anticipation is what blurs a lot of these fans and media. We all expect we're getting a world-class striker to be world-class straight away. It doesn't happen. I remember Drogba came to Chelsea and he was stinking in the first season. Like they wanted to get. They said he couldn't even control the ball properly. They were slating him.
I think they said he got 10 goals in that season they won the league. Is it Premier League goal? I think they said.
There you go. But then now he's deemed as a Chelsea legend. Like it takes I think sometimes we're quite. I think it's just the generation we live in. Like the TikTok generation, people want things fast, they want things instant. They expect things to just be perfect straight away. And sometimes I fall into that trap as well. But I'm backing Victor Gyökeres. I think there will be a time where he's going to be the mainstay and he's going to be firing properly. Like I think since the players have come back and given them competition, like the likes of Havertz and stuff, you actually saw a better Victor Gyökeres come off the bench scoring. You see a bit more hunger from him. So I don't know. I think what I've made of him so far, to keep it a buck, I'm a little bit disappointed because it's not what I expected, but I haven't given up on him. I've seen some of like you said, the comments online, like he playing in Timberlands and he should be a bench presser or whatever. I don't know, a muscle builder, whatever bloody call. Yeah. All those people are a construction worker and all this stupid. He's playing in jeans, and I think that's just all ridiculous. Oh, he touches his hair more than he's got. Like, listen, chill out. The players here, we're still in pole position. 13 goals, like I said, in all competitions. There's nothing to panic about yet. I will say, if we weren't in certain situations, if we were losing games and we weren't top and stuff, yes, there'll be a lot more criticism. There'll be a bit more different energy from me. I'll be a little more on him, especially as a striker. I criticize strikers as harsh as I do any other position because I played that position. But right now, I'm not going overboard. I will criticize where I feel it's needed. Like I said, his touch is not as fluid and as neat as I thought it would be. And then again, I mentioned his hold-up play. I think
it's getting better. I actually know what. Since I watched it,
it's getting better. I saw. Sorry, when he first arrived, first half of the season, I saw him getting bullied by like smaller players. I remember the Newcastle game, he was getting pushed off the wall. I was saying, "Brother, come on, man! Like you're a big man. Like use your body." I think he's learning as well. Like the Premier League's not a joke.
It isn't. You know what? Like I said, some people put some really good sort of clips in terms of not just the goals, his general play, but. He is getting better. Yes, there's things he can work on, but I mean the ball he put through to Timber was excellent. But there's other bits where he held the ball up, so we brought our midfield players into play. And I think if you want to completely ignore that, that's up to you as a fan. But I can see that side of his game being a bit better, and it's a shame that Havertz has got injured again because he plays a bit closer to him and kind of that foil and a bit more of a physical presence and sees the pass. Does help when you get service. So listen, there's like I said, there's a lot more games to go. So we've got obviously FA Cup game where a lot of our players will get a much needed rest because they need it. And then we go again, obviously in the league game against Wolves. Are you going to Wolves? So I'm assuming you're going
to Wolves. Yeah, I'm every away game. I'll be at Wolves. I'll be at Wolves 100%. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. Just because I just hope that is a nice. I haven't watched Arsenal comfortably and been relaxed for a long time. I'm hoping Wolves and Wigan. I'm hoping this week coming, I can just my club's back. But I know it's not gonna happen.
No, not with Arsenal. You must have a bloody laugh, man. It's called weekly surgery. I got your weekly surgery for a reason, you know.
Facts, great name.
Episode 45. But people, the Albert JTV weekly surgery is now officially closed for another weekend. But I want to big up to people in the chat when they did join. Like I said, you watch this back on YouTube and on the audio. We're live on Facebook and Instagram. God, we're all over the place tonight, man.
Wow. Big up.
But no, but Cecil, man, honestly, it's been an absolute blast and a pleasure. Definitely get on again in between your 25 million other things that you're doing in your life.
No, of course. It actually reminded me. I was just looking at my phone. I was reminded there's a few other channels that I said, "Oh, come on, I need to find a slot." But no,
you actually showed me your calendar on your phone in terms of when I saw you at the Brighton game at home 2 seasons. Yeah, I said, "Oh my god, I have to like it's doctor surgery."
Albert, it's not a joke. I go to Kenya next week, actually.
Oh wow,
mad. Yeah, there's it's mad. Anyway, but listen, we're grateful. I appreciate the chat. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate yourself inviting me on the channel as well every time, man.
No, listen, before we send Cecil out, people.
I like the sound of it. That's wavy. Big up, man. Big up.
But it would help in people if I could actually find my outro, which it is definitely here. I just need to find it. Where's it gone, man? Madness. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There it is. People, episode 45 in the Southeast London Red Carpet Weekly Surgery. Albert JTV and Cecil G are out. See you soon, people.